Dom, the Sydney Chilli King. How you going, legend?
Mate, not bad. I can't complain. I'm actually overseas. So, yeah, things are looking pretty good, Phil, at the moment.
Nice. I can't complain either, mate. No one listens, but that's all right.
Yep. So.
You're all over in Thailand, mate. Is that your post-New Zealand celebration? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I just need to take a bit of time off work. So I thought, hey, go to New Zealand and then maybe back it up with getting away from the cold weather in Sydney. It's bloody hot here. It's super humid. I will not be eating no chili, man.
What was that last bit?
I was saying I will be eating no chili over here. It is extremely humid. So, yeah, just chilling, man, staying on the waters. And, yeah, it's good. Enjoying myself.
No, well, that's good stuff, mate. That's good to hear. And so how does it feel being you're now taking the same belt that Greg Iron Guts Barlow took, who ate 160 Carolina Reapers. You've also taken the belt that Gabby took from the New Zealanders. How does it feel to have this elite status and title? And this is all the champs this year too, right? Like,
well, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like to think, I don't know, the journey of just like starting off in small pub comps and building my way out from that, man. And then like, yeah, going New Zealand was tough, like bloody tough. Like to be honest, I could have easily lost that. I think on the guy on my right had like one chili left. I had 3 in my mouth, so it was a bloody blinder. And yeah, it feels good, man. I just want to take it the whole way. That's the plan.
Absolutely. I've actually got a little clip of you after the comp. I don't know if you remember, but I filmed a quick little thing. Let's have a look at this real quick.
Good. So Dominic Clapham, the Sydney Chilli King, the current Australian champion, he came to New Zealand to take out and win the Southern Hemisphere belt. You've just done it. You've just got entry into the World Chili Champs in Italy to go be the World Chili Champion. Mate, how do you feel?
I think the Kiwis have been fun as well.
They should. That was like, yeah, that was a brutal.
What did you think of the competitors? They were no competitors, eh?
Almost won at the end. Old mate, that was down the last.
Yeah.
I had a couple. They just wouldn't fucking stop, bro.
Absolutely.
I feel fucked. I'm shaking. Like my stomach's ruined. It was 3 hours, was it?
3 hours.
Bro, I might.
That is literally. That's the world record for the longest chili competition ever. You've just won it. You just won it. Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Aussie! Oh, mate. Congratulations.
Mate, like, that, what was going through your mind at that point in time when you've just, like I don't think I've ever seen a comp go that long, and like we were just saying there, I think it was actually, it was the world record for the longest chili comp, or if not, it was bloody close, you know? What was going through your mind at the time when you just like...
Dude, I was just glad it was over. I was glad it was finished, man. To be honest, like, yeah, like just like during the competition, I really, to be honest, almost gave up. That's how hard those dudes are going, and it's like, you know, it might sound a bit lame, but my mum doesn't really care about the chili stuff. She thinks it's like, you know, she's like, you're an idiot, you're going to kill yourself doing all that. And then she said to me before I went, she's like, you better fucking win it. Sorry, language. And I was like, that was in my head. And I was like, my mum actually said I better win this, so I better bloody win. And I just didn't want to give up, man. And yeah, had like, you know, all my mates backing me, and yeah, it was hectic. And I'm not going back to Auckland to compete with those guys ever again.
It was funny that you mentioned that like your mum got involved, and it just sort of reminded me of that moment. And it was twice as funny because like I've sort of gone like this, just gone all hail the Oceania Chilli Champ, just being silly. And someone's gone all hail the Chili Messiah. And it just reminded me of that moment in Monty Python where they go, he's not the Messiah, he's a naughty boy.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would be on that tip. Yeah, 100%, definitely. But yeah, man, it was like, it was huge. I don't know, like just, yeah, winning it was sick, bro. It's an amazing thing to do. Like I never thought this would happen in my life, that I'd be holding some Oceanic belt for anything. And I'm like, you know, I'm the bloody champion of, you know, Oceania, and I could be the world champion, man. So yeah, that's the focus, bro. Like as if I wouldn't want to go for this belt. Like you think I put myself on the line, these other comps, I will die in Italy if I have to.
So it's do or die, basically.
It is pretty much, man. I will go until like hopefully there's medical staff, because yeah, we gonna need them.
And, yeah, fair enough. There's paramedics on standby, just especially for Dom.
Yeah, Dom. I feel like
The other thing as well is there was you've been long called the Sydney Chilli King for quite a while, but during the live stream that I was doing on TikTok, there was a lot of comments for a suggestion of another name. Now I have
The Dominator.
I have a quick little video to mention that, and we had a little quick little from Clint as well for us about us Aussies. Ready? You ready for this?
Back next to you. Say that again, Clint. Say that again, Clint. Say that again. As much
As much as I hate you winning every year, and all right, yeah.
I can tell you.
I respect that fucking effort, bro. That was a legendary effort.
How does that make you feel, Dom?
It makes me feel good, but also I'm not coming back next year. I tell you right now, I'm going to go for the world champs, and then chili eating is fucking brutal.
Yeah,
it's fun. It is. The aftermath of this is going to fuck my whole weekend.
But how do you feel? How do you feel accomplishment-wise?
I know.
Boy, but accomplishment-wise, how do you feel?
Fucking good. But that was so close, man. He almost had me, bro. It was so heavy.
Mate, you're a fucking animal, right? One of the comments, the most common comment that people said about you, going, don't call him Sydney Chilli King anymore. Call him the Dominator. What do you think of that? Is it the new name?
It could be on.
Could be the new name.
It's so like it's.
Instead of Terminator, the Dominator. Yeah.
Was it?
All right. Congratulations, mate. Wow.
And it's just like, I don't know, Dominator's all right, but it's like just, I don't know. It's just sort of like an easy play on words from Dom. And I think people have like called me that in the past. And man, I represent Sydney City, man. That's where it started. And people, if they want, they can call me a Dominator. I have no problem with that. That's all good. So, hey, we can have an alias, the Dominator also. I'm sweet with that. But yeah, I am I represent Sid City. That's my city. And I'm the Chilli King from that city. So yeah, that's who I am, man. But yeah, Dominator, Sydney Chilli King / the Dominator. We can run that. It's all good.
It's funny you mentioned the whole Sin City thing. Like, I didn't really think that Sydney was like Sin City until I remember one time I tried to drive out west for something, and I was driving back in, and it's rare that I drive in so far west from Sydney. I remember driving west to east back into Sydney, and there's this big bridge, and it was like the first bridge when you just coming into Greater Sydney. And I remember there was someone had spray painted. I don't know how they did it either, by the way, but it's like on the lower part of this bridge, and it said, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here." And I was like, "Oh man!" It just sort of reminded me of that Sin City thing you're saying that. So being the king of Sin City, now being the king of the New South Wales and Australia and the Oceania, look, how does that make you feel, man? And what does that do to your head? Does it just inflate the ego a bit? Does it feel like it's hard to get through the door?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it doesn't inflate my ego heaps. Like, it's like, for me, I don't know. It's like a niche. It's a niche scene, bro. Like eating chili. Like, I don't know. If I was like like pro boxer, maybe I'd have an inflated ego. But to be honest, I'm trying to stay humble, man. And people are trying to make me have an ego at times, or like trying to set me up to like sort of act like that. But bro, like, I don't know. It's gnarly. Like, I have respect to everyone that does it. And yeah, like, bro, the Sunday, like, I didn't see anything of Auckland, man. I got there, I slept, I went to the comp, and then my Sunday was ruined, man. Like, I was in perpetual sweats, bro. Like, I was sweating, like, and it was like 10 degrees. I'm sweating profusely, like, all that crap. And like, man, it was just, yeah, it was so brutal, but I'm glad I did it. And I've only got a couple more in me, bro, because like, I can't handle the aftermath of a day, to be honest. It's bloody hectic, man.
Look, one of the things I have to mention, which I thought was such an interesting twist, was last year you weren't even the New South Wales champ, right? You were the wild card and the dark horse at the same time, and I think that was a really interesting thing to see go down, right? Because we interviewed the previous New South Wales champ before the comp, and then I think it was like 3 days before the national comp. But I remember what you were doing was you were pestering me and badgering me, going, hey, I want to do this. Let's do this. Let's organise this. We tried to organise it. We couldn't get a schedule right. We couldn't get the timing right. We couldn't get the chilies on time. Everything just seemed to work against us. It was so frustrating because I was trying to make it happen. I wanted to see it go down. And like, no offense to you as well. Like, you talk a little bit of smack, right? And sometimes, and I'm not saying that it's always true, but I've seen in a few competitions where the people that talk the most smack usually get knocked out quite early in a thing, especially in New Zealand. There was a scenario in New Zealand. I think it was the first year I went there with this guy. He's rocked up with a top hat in a suit, and he's like talking like a wrestler, like, "Oh, I'm gonna smash him," and I'm gonna. And he was out round one, and we're all like, "Oh, off you go on your bike." It was amazing.
Well, definitely, man. That's usually the case with like a lot of things, man. If someone's piping up, But like, dude, to be honest, like if no one knows me and I got to say, hey, I'm capable of this, and I was getting questioned of it, I got to go, hey, bro, like I have to be somewhat cocky. I've got to be, hey, I reckon I can do it. Put me in. I reckon I can do it.
There has to be a certain level of not ego, but self-belief. You know, like
exactly. That's more the vibe I was probably trying to go for. But yeah, of course, you guys are OG veterans of this scene. You would have been like, who the fuck's this? You know what? And I don't take any offense to that. There's no beef, all good, and I fully get it.
Well, that's not stab at you. What I'm saying is, it was amazing to see your journey. Where you came from just sort of these city comps, these basic comps. Not trying to say that crap, but I'm just saying, like, wow, you came from these comps that weren't well known, you know, and they weren't that challenging or weren't that extreme. To go from that and then you go, hey, put me against the New South Wales champ, and I'm sort of like, I don't know who this guy is. But then 3 days before the comp, the New South Wales champ gets COVID, and he shows me at midnight, believe it or not, 12:30. I think it was 12:30 at night. Goes, I've got 5 COVID tests going. They're all positive, and I'm like, and he's like, what do I do? And he's supposed to go to a funeral the next day too, and he's just like, I'm going to go to the funeral. He's just devastated. So he goes, get on home, right? And so it was really interesting. Even though you were supposed to be second string or whatever, I said, well, you've got to play with the big boys. It's your time. It's your chance. And I said, you know, give it your absolute best. And you did, you know, and it's amazing to see that the rest is history. And then you go from that to now you're, bam, like Oceania Chilli champ. You backed up your words. And you've just absolutely annihilated every single person in your way, which I have to say is just absolute bravo. You know, like, it's one thing to sort of talk a lot of smack. It's another thing to go and back it up. And you've done that every single comp you've been in ever since, you know. So I have to say that's pretty amazing. And then it was really interesting, even when we gave the original New South Wales champ a chance to have a crack at you and get his title back, you still smashed him, you know. Like, I was like, well, and even he had to say, his words were, passed on the torch to a better competitor. You know, he gave you a rep, he gave you kudos, mate, and he's got nothing but nice things to say about you as well. He's just like, wow, you know. So,
no, he's a legend, bro. Adam's sweet, like, and like, dude, this probably only all worked out because he got sick. So, Adam, I owe you for getting COVID. Because if I hadn't have gone to that comp, who knows? I maybe would have been like, all right, whatever, you know, maybe it's not meant to be, etc. And could have just, you know, stuck to eating bloody hot wings at the pub for a free beer or something. And that would have been it, man. But yeah, no, Adam's a legend, dude. Adam could be New South Wales champ again, because we'll see what happens, man. Same thing, yeah.
WA just commented, mental is the ruler of consequence. I like that, Pete. So Pete was a previous WA chili champ. He was nicknamed NMC, needs more chili, and he's just a mental little dude. And sorry, I'm not having to go at his height. He's not the tallest guy in the world, but let's get off that topic. He doesn't like me saying that. But he makes up for it because he is an amazing competitor. And I've just seen him just shrug off the craziest stuff. And he's definitely earned that title. NMC needs more chili, you know. So, yeah, thanks so much. That's what he's saying. Mental is the ruler of consequence, you know. So I have to say that too. But Adam, we'll actually better say hi to Adam. Adam will be at the Saltell Chili Festival.
Okay, so
say hello to everyone for the national comp. He wants to be involved, and I won't. He's going to be involved. I won't reveal the secret just yet of how or why. But you guys will find out when you're on that stage. There's going to be some fun. So, yeah.
So do we, Phil, I got a question. Do we have like many competitors the same from last year that are coming back?
The only competitor we got 2 competitors from last year, which was Brody from Tasmania.
Brody's lad. Shout out to Brody, man. Good guy. Linked up with him in Tasmania.
Brody, the Brodino boy. Yeah. Yeah, and he's got quite a status as well in Tasmania. So you tried that pizza, right? Remember that pizza?
Yeah. I tried to do it twice, man. I couldn't get it down. Brody did it in like minutes, apparently.
Yeah, but Brody, his statistic, he's eaten 3 of those pizzas under 10 minutes in a row in one go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, he's like, yeah.
You saw how mental that is. I'm just like, yeah. And I've tried it myself, and like, I'm all right. G'day, Trav. I'm all right, but yeah, like I could only get like just under 2 slices down. So I was just like, man,
it Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Dino's a legend, though. Like, anyone should go out there and try it. Like, he's super accommodating, super nice. And then some kid went and did it the next day and beat it the day after I did it in like 3 minutes. And then all these mates started messaging me on Facebook. And they're like, oh, what did you eat at the national championships? Capsicums or something? And I was like, oh, man, I'm like, props to you, mate. Like, he won fair and square. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. Like, pretty funny.
I think there was something that you did mention in that you said that was probably your kryptonite with that. Do you want to mention at all what that was, or
my kryptonite?
Involving that pizza. You said there was something that happened to you not long before that pizza that you reckon gave you a bit of a handicap there. I'm not trying to give you a cop-out handout, but like...
I sort of... Yeah, like last year I had a bit of a gallbladder issue. This was sort of towards the end of last year, so I had my gallbladder out. Apparently I was from eating too much fatty food. So it doesn't affect the chili stuff. Obviously I bloody competed last year before it. But yeah, bro, like I just probably can't eat a pizza real quick anymore, I don't think. I think my body just can't get it down, eh? From having too many pizzas in the past, Phil, is the issue.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a problem I'm going to have soon, I think.
Yeah, man, you're probably on it. Yeah, it's coming soon.
Exactly. And I've got a fair few pizzas. When I was younger, I worked at Domino's, and I swear I was so poor. The only thing I did was eat pizza for like 6 months.
Yes,
so
I worked at Domino's as well when I was a kid, and yeah.
There you go. So it's the Domino's first.
I held the sign out the front. I held the sign that was like Food for Tuesday or whatever.
I was in the mascot thing doing the that was brutal. I think I was in the suit for 4 hours, and I don't think that I've sweat more profusely in my entire life. And I was a lot thinner. Let's say I was 88 kilos at the time, and I'm 116 now. So I was compared to where I am now, and I was like swimming in my sweat, and I'm just like, man, this is gonna suck. And then the guy next to me is like, oh, you're not supposed to be in the suit anymore. You're supposed to get out. There's supposed to be a time frame. You're supposed to not. You're not supposed to. I was like, thanks, man.
You heard there's some work health and safety in that, man. So
like an ice bath at the back. I'd jump in it gladly right now.
Yeah, for sure. You would not be wanting wearing a suit right now, right, man? It's like 40 degrees humidity.
And I bet, like after the New Zealand Chili Champs, I bet you would have loved to jump to an ice bath right then and there, wouldn't you?
Probably, yeah, 100%. I think I just went back to I tried to have a couple drinks after and then something to eat. That didn't go down well. And then just went back to the hotel, showered, and man, terrible night's sleep. Terrible, probably 36 hours afterwards, to be honest.
We're doing some smack talk here. So this is Travis, Canberra, right? Dom, respectfully, I'm coming for your titles. Love it. So Dom, love it. This is Travis. Travis went on Australia's Got Talent with me, Adam, what's her name? Trish and Chantel. And Travis ate 17 Carolina Reapers in 60 seconds. Right?
That's pretty good.
Also one of the only few people that I've seen that's eaten not one, but 2 Nars. And Nars are a chocolate skull, right, with 16 million Scoville capsaicin crystals in it. He ate 2 in a row, then kept going on the comp. Then when he finished the comp, he for fun, gets a full tablespoon of scorpion strike on steroids and goes, yep, and he's munching on it. And I'm going, Trav, you've already won, mate. And he goes, no, let's keep going. I want to show them who the fuck I am. I was like, wow, like.
Okay. It sounded like my kind of vibe, Travis.
Yeah.
Is he competing? This in the comp?
So get this. This is where interesting twist. So much love, Trav. Love you, man. He's a mad dude. Trav was supposed to be competing this year, right? He did respectfully win the Canberra Champs, but unfortunately he had to step down because he has some responsibilities where he's currently in, I think it's a military college or AFP college or something like that. He's stepping into a new career and role, and it's one of those things where you just can't. There's no time off. It's you do the course, you smash it, and then you're finished, and then you can have time off. But unfortunately, his schedule conflicted it, so Tom has jumped in for him. Much love, see that. Thanks, Trav. So yeah, if you're involved next year, he's going to be on the chili scene because even though he smashed out those 17 Reapers in 60 seconds, I saw him how well he did in the Canberra one, and he just seemed completely unfazed, and his tolerance is going up and up. So he could be representing Canberra next year with a fury. So I wouldn't doubt that guy. And his training's amazing, you know, and he even makes his own sauces and stuff, don't you, Trav? And yeah, those sauces hurt. He made what was it? I think was it a salsa, Trav? And we tried it at this place called Caribou Kingston in Canberra on the main strip there. And I'm trying to, and I just stuck a fingerful in my mouth, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ! It absolutely lit me up. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, I'm assuming he's not competing this national, but who knows? We may meet one day. Especially if he's going to make if he makes comments like that, it'll probably fire me up. Saying I'm coming for your titles. That's my kryptonite. Shit like that.
I don't think anyone's more upset about it than Trav, because he was so looking forward to it. And he's like, oh man, the schedule just didn't line up, unfortunately. So yeah, Trav is really
like you got to focus on your career. You can't be
sauces and powder, pure Reaper sauce with my Reaper powder. That's right, yeah. And he actually has a little key ring with Reaper powder wherever he goes. Takes it with, so he can he
Righty. I like it. I like it. Shout outs to Travis, man. Sounds like an animal.
And look, I actually got to give.
You got to be an animal to be in this game. You have to be an animal to be in this game.
Yeah,
like I have something wrong with me. Every competitor probably has something wrong with them, mate. That's it. We're just it's
normal. I don't think normal people can be in this game. Period. Like,
no. There's no one. I haven't met anyone normal in the game, Phil.
Absolutely right.
No, me included.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You know, so look, let's go. Let's rewind the clock a bit back. Let's go back a bit. And I wanted to ask you the question: what was your first chili experience? Because obviously, when you've got involved in the game, you weren't a novice. Clearly, you definitely were involved with chili, and you had chili life. Tell us about your first chili experience, mate. Tell us about what Dom's first chili experience was.
My first, where it all first started. So I was traveling Germany with a couple of mates, and I went to this bar. As you do, we're all on a budget. We're sitting there, and I had this sign that said 10 cents for a napalm wing if you buy a beer. And I was like, 10-cent wings, like that's good. Let's get a whole bunch of them. So anyway, we bought a couple of beers, got like 20 wings for it was like 20 wings for like €2 or whatever. And I didn't really like register the napalm thing. I was like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like napalm is probably just some type of wing. Obviously, I probably had a few beers, wasn't thinking. And anyway, so we get them. I'm with my two mates, just like two of my close homies I grew up with. They both have a wing. I have a wing. They run to the toilet. And they're all like, I'm like, what's wrong? And they're like, bro. And like, they come back, they're like sweating, crying. I'm like, that was sweet. Like, I can handle that. And the guy at the bar, he was like, okay, you reckon you can handle that? Try this. And it was like Carolina Reaper sauce. So I poured it on the wing and then ate it. And he goes, man, you got something wrong with you, bro. I've never seen anyone do that. And I was like, all right, I'm like, maybe there's something going on here. And then, so I came back. I didn't think much about it. And then I was working with a guy that owned an Indian restaurant. And he was like, oh, do you like chili? So I went there and had a feed at his restaurant. And I was like, oh, yeah, like I can handle it. I'm pretty sure. Like I smashed these wings, like, a while ago. They were meant to be really hot. So he stacks it up, smashed his meal with the chili. And he's like, man, that is really hot. How'd you handle that? And then, just started going in comps, man, and went from there pretty much. Just randomly found out I could smash chili.
How old were you when that first happened?
How old? I'm 36 now. This is 2017. 2017 is when I did the wings in Berlin. So if I could do my maths, I was probably 28 or something like that, 27.
Wow, okay. So a bit of a late bloomer thing. That's interesting. Were you ever involved with chili or eating chili curries and things or whatever when you were younger? Or
Yeah. So Mum used to make curries that were really hot, which I've looked into and read that apparently that can be really good for you if you build up a tolerance as a kid. She used to say put honey in it if it's too hot to like cool it down or whatever. I don't know, man. Maybe that was a big factor to it, eh? But I definitely do recall that. My mum was telling me about it recently as well. So
that reminded me of my mum. So my mum was trying to get us to be vegetarian or vegan when I was like 6 or something, to be healthier and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. And I remember making this chili con carne kind of pie thing, and the pie was just the top of the crust was just jammed full of chilies, and I'm going. And I remember eating at 6, and I'm 6, right? And I'm eating this thing going, oh, what are you doing? You're trying to kill me, lady. Like, I pull the crust up and I'm going, and it was just shocking. Like, how like you get cookies and they got the
the
chopped chips. It was like bloody chilies all over the thing. You couldn't see the yellow crust for red. It was just all red. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, it's not that hot. And I'm going, well, how often have you eaten chili? I've never eaten chili. This is my first time. And she's like, oh, okay, fair enough. And anyway,
Thanks, man.
she goes, well,
Some 6-year-old with some full of pie.
right? And I'm like, well, she goes, well, you're eating dinner or you're not eating at all. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not eating. I'm going to eat this dinner. I remember sweating. I'm sick of it. And I'm like, no. But I still ate it all. I'm just like, I don't care. I'm hungry. And that was my first initiation. 6 of people going, how did you get your chili tolerance? And I'm like, well, my parents traveled a lot to different Asian countries. And like my dad told me this story where the first time we went to Malaysia and he ordered this dish not knowing that apparently it was the spiciest dish on the menu. And he said he's there. He's the only white dude in this place. Yeah. This guy, and he's lifting up the spoon and all the Asian guys going, watching him. And he's just going, and he goes, he could smell the chili before it touched his mouth. And he goes, the smell made his nose drool before he even got it to his mouth. He's like, whoa. And then he put it in his mouth and goes, oh, I've done myself a nasty. Like, oh no. You know, but he watched all these other dudes looking at him going, like, what's the white guy doing? And then he's like, stuff it. And he just ate the whole thing. But he said he was like like you said, next couple of days, he just said he was just sweating his balls off going, I would have given anything to be in an ice bath right then. And I was like, yep, that sounds about right.
Oh, blame man. Yeah, look, I could probably do something like that while I'm here, like in Bangkok. I'd probably try and find like, I don't know, some super crazy hot dish and see if the Thai locals call me crazy or they're impressed.
Well, I know the green curry is the hottest general curry that they have. I can't remember what the name is for it. I know the Penang. Penang is the red curry. That's my favorite flavor. But apparently it's weird. The color scheme's backwards. So red is the mildest and green is the hottest for some reason. Go figure. Don't know why.
That's, definitely backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're looking for a hot curry, go get the green one. Apparently.
Yeah. Well, there was a like a Bangkok chili comp on I read about. It was like only in May 11th, just recently, and apparently some tourists won it. So that would have been awesome if I was here at the same time. But I can't keep going on holidays where I eat chili, man.
Yeah, like it's not a holiday.
Not very fun, eh? New Zealand was the worst holiday I've ever been in my life, to be honest.
You know what we think about New Zealand? When I got off the plane from there, I felt like it was warmer there than it was in Sydney. I'm going, what's up with the Sydney weather right now? Like it's and like you're lucky you're there. It is freezing. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know, man. Apparently, people were telling me it was going to be a super cold winter, but yeah, look, I'm trying not to rub it in, but I'm very happy where I am.
Oh yeah, I'm jealous, man. I'll tell you that. So look, a lot of things that we ask competitors is some competitors have a certain way they go about eating their regular meals and whatever. Are you eating chili often? Like, how often are you eating chili and spicy food, or is it just sort of like one and done? What's your story?
If someone offers me chili, I'll have it. You know, if I get a banh mi, they go, "You want chili?" I go, "No problem, stack it on if you want." If someone wants to like sort of, I don't know, like if I'm at a place and they're offering super hot food, I probably wouldn't have it, to be honest. It's more just like a competitive thing for me. I just competing, man. I get G'd up. It does something to me when I eat it. Like it gets my heart racing, which probably isn't good medically, but it just I just like, I don't know. It just reacts to me, man, and I just keep going and going and going. And I'm a competitor, man. I always have been my whole life. I was a youngest child. I grew up with brothers playing cricket in the backyard, rugby, this, that, and I've always, I've always competed hard at anything I do. That's it.
Absolutely. And like it's funny. You kind of reminded me of like a younger me. One of the things that I used to do, I don't know why. I still do not know why to this day. But I was one of those people that you couldn't make me do something, but the moment you dared me, oh man, it's on. Right, it was on, and so then my mates, they started figuring it out, and then they just go like, I just go to another level. I don't know what it is, especially on the bevies,
Oh yeah.
Even before I started drinking, I don't know. I was one of those kids. You just like, you dare me to do something, and I'm just like, what can I do? And it's just, I don't know if it was stupid or like you said, adrenaline or something like that. I'm just like,
I got the same thing, Bill.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. Yeah. Going, I don't know why I did that, but I did it. But I tell you what, it made for some crazy stories. Like you don't. you don't get great stories from eating salad, do you? You know, so
No, man, no. I wonder if there's competitive salad eating. Maybe, who knows? But man, I just. Sorry, what was that?
So Mark Supple has just commented in. He goes, I know as I'm getting older, I find I can't handle what I used to. My tolerance is still high, but nothing like I could handle before. So if you don't know who Mark is actually second in the world for the League of 5 points, I believe, unless it's changed, Mark. Just comment below if it's changed. So he has done League of 5 chili challenges. This guy is an absolute monster with challenges. Mark, you're not a spring chicken anymore, mate, but I'll tell you what, you're a hell of a competitor. But the problem with what Mark has told me is that he's not great at eating pods. He's a much more of a product king, you know, and that's why it's interesting that my competition both inspires and makes people love it, and then the other people hate it because they're just like, I just want to do pods or I just want to do products, and my competition is everything, you know. And you saw last year, you know, we hit you from every angle, you know. There was
there was every single bloody product you could imagine, mate. Like, you know?
And
even that bottle, that little bottle you made us do, the bloody black thing, man. We want to scull that. That's, man, when is it? First week in July? Like, you guys are going to kill me again, dude.
Right, July 5th. Was it Dom will have great contenders at Sawtell? That's right. So let's talk a little bit about your contenders there as well. You've got some interesting competitors. So this year, one of the interesting things and one of the interesting points was a couple of years in a row, we've had some competitors that don't have pain receptors in their tongues, right? And that was Gabby. That was, we believe it was Greg, or Greg was just very good at having a poker face. But Gabby it was very obvious with Gabby that she just wasn't feeling it. I interviewed her and I said, what does chili taste like to you? And she's like, oh, it's just capsicum. You know, like she didn't feel it. She didn't feel it in the mouth. She didn't feel it in the guts. And I said off camera, I said, probably TMI, but when it comes out, does it hurt as well? And she's like, no. And I'm going, wow. And so to see you with your sheer willpower beat her, you know, what did that make you feel in that moment where you're just like, I've just beaten this, no offense, Gab, but like I affectionately called her a freak of nature, just like the rest of you guys, because like you guys aren't normal, you know, and Gabby was a freak of nature amongst the freaks of nature because she just did not feel it. Like the only thing that would ever get in Gabby's way is her capacity or speed. And you found out the hard way as well that's how you beat her, you know. Mark's number 6 now, and I do pods as well, but not as many as Dom. Yeah, fair enough. Thanks, Mark. So considering that this year there's no one like Gabby in the mix, but everyone in this mix this year is all willpower, just like you. Does that make you feel like you got more advantage or less of advantage? What is the story with that, mate?
Well, if I'm going to be brutally honest, man, if I beat Gabby, like, you know, she's the one that has no pain receptors, then I don't know. I've got to feel confident, man. I've got to back myself. Like, I don't think I don't know. If I lose, though, like, I still go to Italy, yeah?
Yeah, because this isn't a belt match. So,
okay. Yeah. All right, sweet. Cool. Just want to confirm that.
Yeah.
To beat Gabby was all, to beat, like, I'll just say, to beat Gabby, man, was awesome. Like, everyone wrote me off. Everyone was like, you're not going to beat this chick, whatever. And to be honest, like, shout out to her, whatever. I didn't talk to her much, but when she originally saw me, she was sort of just like, who's this dude? I'm going to smash him. So, yeah, it felt great, Phil. I ain't going to lie. I loved it.
No, fair enough. That's right. You got to be honest. It says Steve Brooker says, g'day all. Huge congrats on your new belt. Steve's the Canberra bunny from Canberra. And, yeah, he's a huge fan. He's been watching and he's been involved. He was actually helping feed you last year. Last time. So that was him helping you burn. It's interesting that point that you say that Gabby, she was a very different competitor because she's just really quiet, really chill. She didn't really have any ego about her. She's just like, yeah, what'll be will be. But I think that calmness sort of worked against her as well because like that last round where you did round 30 where it was speed round, I think that was the one thing. Yeah, there's two things that would work against Gabby was her capacity, because I know Gabby's a smaller person than you, so obviously she's not more in as much as you. And then your intensity gives you that speed. And that last round where you just like, just shoved it all in, and you're like a bit like a chipmunk, you know. And I could see that moment in your eyes where you're like, crap.
I'm feeling that moment now, bro. I'm getting fired up even just talking about it.
Yeah. But that moment where you just like that moment where I can see that look in your eyes, like I've got to chew all this shit, and you just like, you know, and you look at it. You're looking at Gabby, and I remember you asked me. You said, "What is my strategy with Gabby?" And I just going, "Well, look, just don't look at the face, mate. Everyone seems to crumble when you look at the face." And I kept watching you, and you're looking at a plate. You're going, right, and I thought that's smart. He's smart. He's not looking her in the face. He's just like, look at the plate, see what's left. Look at the plate, see what's left. The only glance where you sort of glanced sort of more towards her face was her mouth, and you sort of gone high enough to see her mouth, and then you're like, yeah, and you weren't looking at her face because you knew you're like, don't look at her face, man, because she's so calm and it's unnerving, you know. And I'm glad that you sort of took that to heart. I wasn't trying to school you, but you asked me for some honest feedback. I gave you honest feedback. That was what it was, you know. And I would have told any other competitor the same thing, and they asked me the same thing. So, and I think I did. I think I told everyone else the same thing. They go, "What do I do with Gabby?" And they just said, "Don't look her in the face. don't look her in the face." Every time I've seen someone look her in the face, they just crumble, you know. So that was interesting seeing the opposite in New Zealand, right? Everyone watching you is going, look at this fucking guy. The other guys are like hunched over and they're like, oh, and you're like, you're pacing, you're like, come on, let's go, next round. Oh. And I'm like,
yeah, I was trying to get the rounds going, man. I was trying to get that winning over and done with, bro. Like, far out. I don't want to sit there and kill myself on chilies for 3 hours. Like, let's go. Let's get it going. Keep it coming. Like, let's eliminate the dude. The guy on the right, as I said before, the guy on my right, I remember I had 3 chilies left. He had 1 left on his plate. He had 1 left on his plate. And I looked and I shit myself. I was like, dude, I've got to get these down so quick. I was like, bro, I remember you were go. Ah! And like, yeah, that was so close to those guys, man. Like, good luck to whoever goes there next year. Because I don't know if I'll be going backfield, man. Those guys are bloody gnarly competitors.
I had a lot of fire up your ass because at the end of the day, like the obvious thing, guys, is wherever you're watching from is when you're in New Zealand, clearly the crowd is on the New Zealander side. It's very right. You're one Aussie in the crowd, and when introduce everyone, you're like, yeah, whoa, you get done, boo, and you're like, yeah, fucking bring it, you bitches, you know. And I was like, that's it. That's that underdog attitude. I was like, that's what
you got to do. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm from Australia. Like, fuck yous, you know, you flew me over here, let's go. It was a sick event though. Like, shout outs to Clint and Fire Dragon Chili's. It was a mad venue, and yeah, everyone was super nice. I got looked after, so it was good, man. Yeah, it was good. I mean,
that was a good thing. It was sort of like, you know, when you play footy, you know, like at least everyone left the aggression and whatever else you want to call it on the field. They sort of, the competition was done, it was over, and everyone's just going, holy crap, mate, kudos.
Yeah.
My God, you're the man. Couldn't believe it. You know, you beat our best guy, you know. Clint, like even in that film clip, he's just gone, you know, F you, but wow, kudos.
Yeah, no, probably.
You know, he goes,
the same thing.
Because that's what he says to me. He goes, bring your best. And he goes, I'm so sick of you guys beating. I said, mate, but you told me, you invited me, you said, bring your best. I brought my best.
What are we supposed to do, Phil, man? They told us to rock up.
So that's when you got to that speed round. I'm like, I'm going to amp up Dom. I'm going to do my best to do what I'm going to do so that he hears that and not the rest of the crowd going, oh, New Zealand, oh, you know. I wanted to be that one.
Phil, to be honest, it bloody works, man. That was a pivotal moment, the last bit. Yeah. Appreciate that.
What was that last bit?
I said I appreciate it. That little, like that, you yelling at me at the end definitely helped, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because there's these moments, there's some moments in time where it feels like it's forever, doesn't it? And you're like, oh, this is just dragging on, you know? And you're just like, how am I going to get through this? And you got to hear that one little voice either in your head or someone else saying something to you. And I was like, I've got to get him in that tunnel vision so he can see it. You can see the light, you know? And that's what I was trying to do there for you, mate. Yeah. So I'm guessing that was a very challenging time for you. But have you got like a best chili experience? Is there an experience where you're just like, oh, that was amazing, that was the best? Or was that
best chili? Okay, probably one of those like the first comps I went in. It was at the Bank Hotel in Newtown. It was the first like proper, like, it was called the Newtown Chili Festival or whatever. And it was like quite a few, like, it was a pretty big comp. I went in that. It was like the first proper comp I went in, I think. Yeah, first year. And man, I had so many friends there, like all these mates. I just went hard. ended up winning it. And then like I won like a $5 bar voucher, got to shout all my mates' drinks. And then, I ended up, I don't condone gambling at all or anything like that. But I put $20 in more chili, the machine. And then I won $5,000. And I won $5,000. Yep, of one hit. So that was the highlight of my chili career, bro. That day was amazing, man. And then obviously like that was the highlight for like my mates and stuff like that. But then obviously winning like, you know, New Zealand's the highlight when it comes to like, you know, winning a competition for sure, definitely. But that was just like a really good day of like chili, you know? Everything just worked out and like, I don't know, just had a really good time. It was sick. I didn't die too much after. It wasn't as brutal as these comps, you know, so it was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And so like that was your best chili experience. Have you got like a worse chili experience? Everyone seems to have this one moment, this one defining moment of going, whoa, I don't think I was going to eat chili after that again. Like, you know, is there an experience where you're just like, oh,
the Sunday after Auckland?
Yeah.
Like I'm not talking shit. Like I literally almost was going to take myself to the hospital, man. I couldn't sleep.
The one thing I could say is that the defining factor is after a chili comp, you just got to get that out of you. And I think the one working against you is once you get that past that 1 hour period of time, your body's starting to digest the things in your guts. And sadly, even though if you've prepped or you've prepared, you conditioned, you put gear at the bottom of your stomach to create a layer, but your body's starting to digest that, and that's getting lower and lower, and eventually that chili's hitting the bottom of your guts. And you guys were there for 3 hours. You went 2 hours past that threshold. So it's very clear that everyone's guts were starting to hurt, and you're getting to that point where you're like, it feels like my stomach is going to fall out. Like, is that what's happening there in your mind?
Dude, I just knew that I was going to be ruined. Like, I'm sitting up there and it's going for that long. Like, that's what's going through my head. I dead set was almost going to quit, man. Like, it was just went on for too long and it was so brutal. But I'm glad I didn't, man, because there's no bloody way I'll think about stopping in Italy. That's for sure. Because I'm doing it for Australia and New Zealand, man. We're doing it for Oceania, so we want to bloody win. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just all it is, man. Adrenaline. I'm an animal. I just want to compete. I want to win, and that's it. And I don't know. There's not much else to it, man. I'm willing to cop the damage of the next day and just bloody eat my ass off with chilies, man, and just go hard, dude. So, you know, I don't know. People want me to warn other competitors. You've seen the results. We'll see what happens in Sawtell, man. And, you know, I don't know. I don't want to be cocky, but I'm backing myself pretty hard.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And so you said before your mum thinks you're crazy, but at the same time, she's like, you better bloody win. What does the rest of your family and your friends think? Do they think you're crazy or are they super proud? What's the deal with that?
Oh, no, everyone's pretty much down with it, man. My mum just thinks everything I do is stupid. From my track record of, you know, my youth and everything. But she's a bit worried about the health, you know, side of things as well. Like, you know, it's not a super healthy thing to be doing, man. But like all my friends think it's sick, dude. Like my work colleagues love it. Everyone loves it, man. They all, you know, want me to. I guess there's probably some people that think it's bloody stupid. They just haven't told me.
That's funny. Unless you ever haven't experienced at least 7 hours of cramps, you will never understand. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I remember being at 16 hours of cramps, and I remember like being bent over in the shower, and I'm like. It was so bad at the point I'm on my hands and knees, right? And I remember puking out. I hadn't eaten food for 24 hours, and I did a challenge where it was World Tortoise corn chips with 2 million Scoville sauce and a bunch of other things. Ate some chili. It was dumb. It was very, very dumb, right? And I was just thinking about what I had to do next, not about how, oh my God, this is going to suck and whatever. So I did no prep, no conditioning, and like. If you guys have ever done no prep or conditioning, you will know very clearly it'll hurt A, 10 times more, and B, the consequences suck more because you've got nothing to help push it out. It's absorbing into your guts, and you've just got to cop it sweet. And I've done a whole bunch of dumb things, and I remember like having 16 million Scoville pure capsaicin in a shot and that, and just puking for 45 minutes straight. But like, those cap cramps, oh man, are just absolutely intense. And I remember being, on my hands and knees. I just got a loaf of bread, the biggest bottle I could get of water. And I'm like, skull water, get bread, make it soggy in the water, in the shower. I'm in the shower, by the way, in my hands and knees. Shove the bread in, puke it back out, stomp it down This is not very PC. Stomping it down the drain, stuck another thing, a piece of bread, stop, pick it back out, stop it back the drain, water, bread, water, and just kept repeating that. And like, you know, like when you were younger, when you drank to excess, when you're really, really dumb, and you like kept puking.
Yeah, when I was younger, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. That last little bit, you're like, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that. And I'm like, I've got nothing left, so that's all like bread. Just shove it in, water, like back out. I was like, and I'm like laughing to myself, and like I remember my housemates going, "Why are you laughing?" Like I'm in the bathroom just puking my guts out. Why are you laughing? I'm gone, and I'm like, what is it called? Nervously, half crying, half effed out of my mind, going, "Circle of life." And he's like, "You're mental, mate," you know. And I was just like, "Wow." And I remember like that point of time where you're like, you know, got to pray to God. No, he's not listening. Pray to the devil. He's not listening. Like, oh, well, I must get some on my own. You know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You know?
Dude, it's bloody brutal, man. It's brutal. What's this? What we got? Another comment?
So Stevie just said, "How was that challenge jerky last year? Tough to finish. Delicious."
That was bloody hard to eat.
Yeah. So that
Super tough.
That was by design. So that was created. The challenge jerky is created by Budgie's Jerky. So this year is going to be his last year doing it. Now his normal jerky is really juicy. It's soft and easy to eat and chew, especially easy to get down as well. But that one he made especially tough and harder to chew. What did you think of that bit as a challenge, mate?
It's extremely hard to chew. Was that a speed round, or from what I recall?
That was a speed round, yeah.
Yeah, dude, no, that was bloody concerning because I was like, I can't get this down. This is really hard to eat. But I don't know, I guess I was able to get over the line and race Gabby to it. So, yeah, well, but no, jerky.
You just sort of T-Rexed it. You just like, rah! And you're like, oh, just get it. Yeah, I can see you just like, you know, and I can see that, like, that animal, like you're saying, you go this animal mode. I can see the animal coming out and you're just like, this is going down, I don't care, you know? And I was like, wow.
Got it, man. Like, if you go that far, you got it, man. Like, I'm like, when I'm coming, I don't know, it's two or three people left, like, look, I'm not going to give up.
Well, at that point, you were the only two left. So there's only one person in your way, and it was you and Gavin. And so
the WA lad went pretty far. Right? He was third, wasn't he?
Oh,
he was a beast.
Crazy German, Angsa Mays. Yeah, Mays. He went way past what he did, and even he was saying, "This is going to suck. I'm hurting so much, but I don't want to give up here. I want to keep going. I just want to see how far I can go." You know, and he was like. No offense to him, he's a fantastic competitor, and you know, have you ever heard of Dingo's Hot Sauce?
Dingo's Hot Sauce, I think so. Yeah, I think you gave me some of that when in the
He was working for the farmers, eating chilies and picking them all day, and he was eating their hottest chili, which was comparable to a Carolina Reaper. It's called the Psycho X Pod, and it was brutal. And he was just like num 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 num. Like, you know, and he was just like, Jesus Christ, this is mental. So he was just like, I just want to see. He goes, I'm just going to destroy myself. I don't care. I just want to see how far I can go. So he was pushing his limit. And then he got to a point where he's like, yeah, there it is. That's my limit.
Props to him. I saw him at the servo on my way home. Like, both looked at each other and we were both like dead. I was like, hey, man. It was funny.
So the last question I'm going to ask you is, so we were saying before how brutal the New Zealand Chili Champs was and how it dragged on. Now, this year is going to be interesting for the Australian Chili Champs because we've only got an hour and a half of stage time this time.
Really?
Last year we went 2 hours, right? So what that means, are you ready for this?
It's going to get to speed round.
This means it's going to be a fast and furious comp. We are just going to shovel this stuff into your mouths so quick. So one of the things I noticed in New Zealand is you're like, okay, breathe, keep it down. Like not just you, I mean all the competitors. You're like, you
100%.
Keep it down, and you're like, keep it down, calm, woosah, get your mental balance. You know, whatever it was. In the Australian Champs this year, we've got 1.5 hours to give you guys 30 rounds. So we are just going to shovel this stuff in your mouths. What will you try and do differently considering that?
I think that might play all right for me, man. To be honest, I think the gaps in New Zealand, like I found, I don't know, it's fine. It's their competition, they can run it, but I found there was a fair bit of time in between it. And yeah, I probably would prefer it just coming straight out, man. But the thing is, I've almost been beaten both times speed round. So this could easily fall into the hands of someone else, another Aussie competitor, and that could be the way that I get done. Because obviously my tolerance is pretty good, but I think my speed is not super good. So hey, I could get beaten, man.
Steve just said, I was loving Budgie's jerky choc scorpion powder at footy yesterday. I was freezing for others. I was sweating. Good on you, Steve. Thanks,
Good way to do it, mate.
Good go on. What's up with this guy? Is he on meth? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So yeah, that'll make things interesting. So I don't know. You might play into your hands. Or the other thing is I've noticed is you'll get to a certain capacity and you're like, you've got to mentally keep it down. Right. And there was a couple of moments in New Zealand where you're like, I could see. You're like, And I'm thinking, when we're going to be throwing it at you guys really quickly, that's going to be more challenging, that part, won't it?
Yeah. Look, I need some time to think about whether it's going to be good or bad for me, but I think, I don't know, man. It could well. Let's just see what happens, bro. See what happens. I'm ready. I know you're going to throw crazy stuff at us. I know that's all you guys do. New Zealand or Australia, you're going to go ham, and man, I'm just going to have to cop it, bro.
Absolutely. We've got some really interesting custom products for you guys, unique, one of a kind, only made for this Australian comp. We're going to throw some things at you guys you have never seen before. Some of the things you're like going to recognize, going, oh yeah, I know what that is, and other things you're going to go, what is this? There's going to be some things where they're going to be unassuming, where you're looking at going, that looks nice, right? Like remember the meringue last year?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And then there's going to be other things you're going to go, what is in this? Like, what is this evil stuff in this? Because that's what we try to do. We try to create things that are unassuming. You're like, that looks fine, and you don't go, oh no, I've done myself a nasty. Yeah. But look, last thing I'm going to leave you with is what have you got to say to your competitors and everyone else that's going to be watching from home and at the competition? Leave us your last thing you want to say and leave with everyone before that competition.
The last thing I want to say is that, first of all, after this sort of interview we've had, like, I'm pretty bloody excited now. I was sort of like, I guess sort of dreading having to kill myself on chili like again. But man, I'm looking forward to it. Last year was heaps fun. Saltair was mad. Look, if people want to talk shit on me and they want to fire me up and tell me they're coming for my title, my belt, go for it. I might buy into it. I might not. But I'm a fierce competitor and I'm going to give it a red hot go. And I got some mates coming, and I don't like to let my mates down. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Are they going to be in your corner going, go Dom? Because you're like,
I hope so.
That's one thing you see you're lacking in New Zealand. You're lacking more voices in your corner. Do you think you'd do better with more voices in your corner?
Oh, 100%, definitely. I remember we'll say this quickly, at Saltair last year, no one was really going for me except my mate. And there was one kid. There's one kid in the crowd. I remember he was like, go, Dom. He didn't know idea who I was. And that inspired me, man. I was like, dude, to that kid. And he was like, and then his like mum ended up adding me on Instagram or something. So like his son could like follow me and shit and like see what I was up to. But yeah, just even those like little things like that, they'll get me going. So we'll see, man.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us so much, Dom, tonight. I know you're busy.
No worries, Phil.
Enjoy Thailand, and we'll see you very soon at Saltair, mate.
Bloody oath. I look forward to it, Phil. Legend, man. Shout outs to bloody everyone. Let's do it.
Bloody oath, mate. Aussie.
Thank you, brother. Cheers.
See you, mate. All right, legends. Thank you so much for joining us for this this very special interview with our Australian Chili champion, the current New South Wales champion, and now our Oceania Chili champion. Wow. Dom, the dark horse, far out. He absolutely came from nowhere. He wasn't even supposed to be the Australian Chili champs. He replaced the New South Wales Chili champ with 3 days' notice. It was the absolute, not just a dark horse, like the underdog, everything under the sun in that direction. It was amazing to see that this guy who we didn't know of his ability. We knew that he won a few comps in Sydney, in the city, and around inner city west, but we weren't sure whether he's at that level. But he came, he had a crack at the game. He had a red hot crack, and he took it out. He beat what everyone in their mind thought was the invincible Gabby, and did it. He did it with pain receptors. He did it with chili receptors. He did it with heat receptors. He did it with just sheer willpower. And huge kudos to this guy. Huge kudos to this guy because, it is. It's one thing to try and enter a Chili comp. It's another thing to win it, but to win the Australian title, then to win the Oceania title back to back, it's just amazing. So, huge, massive shout out to Dom. Thank you so much. But don't worry, Spice Legends. We've got all more spicy goodness. We've got our other chili competitors that we'll be interviewing very soon, later in the week. The next one up is our legend Goran from South Australia, the South Australian chili champion. We'll be catching up with him 7 p.m. Sydney Australian Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. So Wednesday 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time to talk all things chili. He took out the South Australian chili champs, then had to do a 3-way chili competition against the 2 other chili champs in South Australia, beating the previous South Australian chili champs. So he has walked an absolute gauntlet of fire to be here. To be in the national comp. So he's also not giving up there. He's continuing with his training. His sponsor, Chili Sauce Distributors. Thank you so much, Chili Sauce Distributors, for sponsoring our South Australian Chili Champ. They're going to be absolutely getting his tolerance through the roof in preparation for the Chili Champ. So you'll be joining us very soon. Today is Monday, 2 days' time. We will be here again. We'll be interviewing the South Australian Chili Champ, Goran, a.k.a. Hefe Fefe Rona, because Goran is part Serbian or Serbian blood. So apparently that has some sort of chili name in that one. I'm not sure what the exact translation is, but we've got a Serbian in the mix. So Serbians, they don't go down easily, and they definitely don't take it lying down. So that will be very interesting. So there we go. All right, well, that's it for our Spicy Goodness Spice Legends. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys have an absolute awesome night. And we'll see you guys very soon. Again, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or Sydney time. Oh, SSV Chili. How you going, legend? We're just about to wrap up now, mate. But 7 p.m. Wednesday or Sydney time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be interviewing our South Australian Chili champion. So if you guys missed out the majority of this review or interview, we're going to post this on our Burner Bites page on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So don't worry, you haven't missed out. But we've got heaps more interviews to go. We've just done 1 out of 8. So we've got 7 more to go. All right, Spice Legends, that's it for our spicy goodness. Have a good one. And for now, keep